But overall, I didn't think Raw was a great show. Let's get right into the opener, as I mentioned. Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Raw Women's Championship. Didn't expect it to open the show. Didn't expect it to end the way that it did. And obviously, it wasn't a completely clean finish. But I'm thinking when the match starts off the show, it's going to have a DQ. It's going to have a no fucking contest. It's going to build to something in the main event because this show is so formulaic. But it actually didn't do that at all. They got a lot of time. It was a great match. I don't know if I would go so far as to say as what the other people were saying, like the commentators and stuff, that it was one of the greatest Raw matches of all time. And being in the building, maybe you can attest to that if it was or wasn't. But it was a great match, and I don't know, I just thoroughly enjoyed this. And Becky cheating to win, it makes sense with her heel persona. When she's like, oh, people don't appreciate me and stuff like that, and she's still playing up the heel tropes in her promos, they don't exactly ring true because the people aren't booing her. So I want to ask you, Mr. Marceau, as someone who was there, before we even get into the match itself, can you talk about the reaction of Becky Lynch when she came out?
I would say she probably got more cheers than Bianca did, honestly.
Really? Okay. So it wasn't 50-50.
It was pretty close to, if not pretty close to 50-50 both ways.
Interesting. I mean, it seems to be the common theme throughout these shows. At least Bianca's not being booed, as I've said before. I mean, that's, positive, but she plays the character very well. It's not like she's not a good heel. It's just that the fan hatred or whatever you want to call it, just not support because it's the opposite, it's just not there. So I thought that was weird. But talk about the match, the fan reaction to it, because this got a lot of time. I thought it was a great match. This was the match that we should have gotten at. I enjoyed the Extreme Rules match, the match at Extreme Rules, but that had a shitty finish, so no one will really remember the match itself. But I thought this was definitely the match I was waiting for from these two women. They kept the pace consistent throughout. Becky cheating to win to protect Bianca in defeat, which we'll talk about what's next for Bianca in a moment. But your thoughts on the match itself between Becky and Bianca on Monday's Raw?
I thought it was a great way to start the show off. Normally on Raw, we get the interview segment that takes like 20 minutes that just no one cares about. But I thought this was a great way to start the show. Definitely helped with the crowd being ready for the show, and they just kicked it off strong. Great match. Like I said, I thought the crowd was pretty 50-50, and they're doing the Let's Go Bianca, Let's Go Becky chant. So, it was pretty back and forth the whole match. Becky cheating. She had kind of earlier in the match looked like she was going to take the turnbuckle off, and then at the end of the match, she turned the turnbuckle off, hit her, and then rolled her up. So, I thought she should have won. She did win. Like you said, I'm not really sure what you do with Bianca from here, but I feel like the issue with Becky is, she is still popular just from how over she was before she left. So, I still think the heel turn was kind of a dumb idea because people are still going to cheer for her regardless.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I don't know if it's going to change either because she's been doing the heel thing for almost 3 months now and it really hasn't changed. And she's gotten booed in more cities than others. It's not a complete face reaction, a complete baby face reaction, but she's still getting cheered pretty heavily in a lot of these cities and not in a, oh, you're a cool heel type of way, but we still really want to cheer you type of way. So I don't know if that'll change. I think it's been long enough to where I don't think it's going to. But anyway, I've enjoyed the feud. Is this it for the feud, though? Do we get back to Bianca beating Becky for the belt, which should have been the end game from the beginning? Or did they do it at WrestleMania is my question. I feel like they kind of have to, but knowing WWE, will they actually is the question? Probably not. They did tease Becky and Liv later on in the show. I'm perfectly fine with that as an interim feud. I think Liv deserves an opportunity. But the problem with this company, this not only goes for the women, but the entire company, Raw, SmackDown, whatever, they tend to give people title opportunities after they've done a lot of losing. I can't remember, I guess Extreme Rules, but that might have been the last match Liv Morgan won on TV. And that was over a month and a half ago. So why is she getting a shot or being teased for a shot at the Raw Women's Championship is my question. It probably should be Carmella or Zelina because they've been doing a lot more winning lately on TV, which I don't really want to say, but it would make more sense. So, yeah, I don't know. This whole thing is weird with Bianca and Becky. Is this the end of the feud, or do you see them going back to Bianca beating Becky at some point down the road for the belt?
I feel like Bianca should be the one to beat Becky. I feel like the story's kind of there. She got cheated out of the win, and Becky kind of was the better woman those nights. I feel like you could wait till WrestleMania and have Bianca finally beat Becky. I don't think they're going to continue it now, so if they're going to do it, I think that would be the right point, but I don't know if they're going to continue it. But if they're going to continue it, I would have her beat her at WrestleMania.
Anything can change in 2 months, but would you have her win the Women's Rumble or have it be some other way? Because she's won it last year, so that's why I said I don't know if we would do that again.
I wouldn't do it back-to-back.
Yeah, I don't know if that would. I feel like it would be a good story, and it's happened before. Hogan did it. Steve Austin has done it, among other people. I feel like it's a different time, though, than it was 20, 30 years ago, to where if someone were to win it 2 years in a row, they would probably get booed because people like new things. They like change. They want the new person to get the shot or the Rumble win or whatever. So I don't know if I see that happening, but it is a possibility. So I thought it was a great match, though.